Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Tech Motoring. Today we're going to be reviewing the Nextbase 522 GW dash camera, something I've always wanted to do for a while in my car. So today we're going to do an unboxing and we're going to do a review of this camera and a couple weeks of experience that I've had with it. So stay tuned and hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. So we're going to be opening the box on this Nextbase 522 GW dash camera. Now we're going to go over everything that's in the box, and then I'm going to be installing this in my car and using it for a few weeks, and then we're going to be doing a review on this. So first thing, let's just go over some of the features that the Nextbase 522 has. As far as resolution, this does offer 1440 resolution at 30 frames per second, or if you wanted to do 1080 resolution, it'll give you 60 frames per second. So pretty decent, clear, crisp video for recording. It does offer a 3-inch touchscreen on it as well, so you can easily navigate through menus on that touchscreen. It has a 140-degree viewing angle, so it's pretty wide angle, so you will be able to cover everything that's outside of your windshield. It has GPS and Bluetooth built in as well. It also has an emergency response, which means if it ever notices that you're in an accident, it can automatically call for help in case you are unresponsive. It also has an intelligent parking mode, which means if your car is parked and it notices movement, it will actually start recording if the car starts to move. So if anybody's ever trying to get into your car for any reason, this will actually trigger and start recording. Now this camera is compatible with the rear camera as well, so you can actually buy the attachment for this and hook up a rear camera that you can point out the back of your window for front and back coverage of your vehicle. So one of the really cool features this has is it has built-in Alexa, which means you can ask it anything that you would normally ask Alexa and it will actually respond with those answers. So it would actually just connect through your phone and then use your phone's internet for the response. So I'm really curious to see how that looks, but we'll see that at the end of the review. So let's start diving in and see what we get in the box. So it looks like we get a little bit of a warning sticker that you can put on your car. Just a couple of documentations here. Obviously you get a quick start guide as well. So let's take a look at some of these accessories here. Alright, so you get your 12-volt cable, obviously. It looks like it comes with quite a bit of cable that you can run. 3M adhesive pad. This appears to be a 3M adhesive mount for the camera in case you want to use the 3M to mount it to something. This is just a standard USB cable to interface if you want to plug it into your computer. And here's the suction cup mount. So this is actually what you can use to mount it to the windshield of your car. So you can actually use either the suction cup mount or you can use the 3M backing mount depending on your car, whatever works best for you. And then they give you this little tool here, and this tool is actually designed just to help you kind of run the wires through any tight spaces that you may have in your car's interior, trying to go from the top of your windshield all the way down to your 12-volt adapter. Alright, so here it is. Here's the camera. So right off the bat, I noticed it's got a pretty big lens on it. Let's take a look at this real quick. So yeah, that's got a pretty big lens. The body's actually a good size. If you're looking for something that's going to be small, that'll fit in your windshield, this may not be the one that you want. This is actually fairly large, but it has a really good lens on it, and this should do the trick if you're looking for something that's high quality. So just looking at this right away, it looks like we have a couple features on here behind some of these little plugs. On the top here, it looks like you have your mini USB plug here. On the side, this appears to be your camera out for the rear camera. So just a couple things that it's going over on the screen. It's just telling you have a touch screen. It says charge for a couple hours. It says use the default settings for best results. That obviously will depend on what you need it to use it for. Format the SD card fortnightly to free up space. Fortnightly. And then it's giving you the option to download the Connect app, so you can actually do all the functionality of transferring the videos from your camera here to your phone wirelessly without having to plug into a cable. So that's pretty nice right there. And then there's a button right here at the bottom of the screen, and what it's saying is that you can actually push this to manually protect files. That means if there's ever an event that happens in your car that you want to record, you can hit this button and it will record that and protect it so it cannot be deleted. So that's kind of a nice feature. It looks like you have your speakers and your reset button on the bottom of the unit, your micro SD slot, and your power button right here on the side as well. Right here on the front is this little door that comes off, and this actually is what you use to plug in your one base. So this would actually plug into there and connect to your vehicle. And it is magnetic, I just noticed, as well, which I think is pretty cool. It's a strong enough magnet, it sounds like it's going to hold it up pretty good. So something cool that I just noticed is that this little adapter plate here on this base here, so this actually snaps into the mount like that with the magnet. And then what this actually does, if you want to use the suction cup mount instead, what you do, oh, okay, so that's a pretty good magnet. So this actually has a USB port inside of the base. So you actually plug the power cable into the base, and then the base is what adheres to your car. So if you want to use the suction cup mount instead, what you do is you just pop this off on this base, and then this snaps into your suction cup mount, like so. So now you can use the suction cup mount on your car instead, and then the USB still connects through that base. That is a pretty cool feature if you ask me. And this magnet is strong. I mean, yeah, that's pretty strong. Alright, well there we have it. So there's the unboxing of this. So I'm going to go ahead and install this in my car. We're going to give it a couple weeks. I'm going to report back and show you how it was and all the features it has. So we'll be right back and we'll do the review. Alright everybody, we're back, and it's been about a month since we've started with the 522 GW by Nextbase. So this dash cam was actually pretty good. I did like it. It is a little bit on the bigger side when it's installed in the vehicle. There are smaller options out there, but there's a lot of other features you could do with this that you can't do with a lot of other dash cams. The 3-inch screen on it was very nice. I think the 3-inch touchscreen is a very nice thing that they did for it. You can very easily go through the menus and adjust different options and settings pretty quickly and easily with that touchscreen. You don't have to utilize a phone app or something like that. It does make that aspect of this camera very easy. This does have the option for the reverse camera on it, so you can put that so it faces backwards. I did not test that out, but pretty much it just records off of both cameras at once. Now I recorded in 1440 resolution at 30 frames a second, and I'll overlay some video over this so you can see what it looks like. And it does look pretty good. It's a pretty clear picture. You can make out license plates pretty easily with it. You can see details. I think it has a lot of nice quality features to it that make this camera very, very good. I think this camera has a lot of benefits in the event of an accident or something like that where you needed to get some detail off of a car or even a person that's walking by. I think it gets good quality because of it. Now I had mounted this to the windshield of my car, and I used the 3M tape mount, and you may have remembered that there was a 3M tape mount that you can use, and there's also a suction cup mount. I ended up going with the 3M tape mount that sticks to the windshield, and then the mount actually has the magnetic clip that clips onto the camera itself. The 3M tape is very sticky, so it isn't coming anywhere. It's definitely stuck on that windshield. The really nice thing about it is the power cable actually plugs directly into the base that clips into the 3M pad, and then all you have to do is you just have to snap the camera on and off of the windshield when you need to take it out of the car or move it to a different car. It is a very strong magnet that holds this camera to that base, which is a good thing. However, it does make it sometimes difficult to try to get the camera off of the base when you're trying to take the camera out of the car. Yeah, one way or another, because there's not really nothing you can do about that. It's either going to hold up there really well, or it's going to fall off if you hit a bump. So, you know, I guess you better take a better, stronger magnet versus the possibility of this thing falling off your windshield and potentially breaking the screen. Now, the installation of it was very simple. I just took the power cable that came with it, ran that around the plastic trims of my interior, and ran it down to the center console of my car, where I plug it into the 12-volt cigarette lighter. Now, I'm probably going to make this more of a permanent thing, so I'm probably going to buy one of those kits that ties directly into the fuse box of the car. This way, it's a little bit cleaner. You don't have a wire coming up from the center console and plugging into the cigarette lighter. Also keeps that 12-volt receptacle open, just in case I ever need that in the future. So I definitely think I'm going to probably do that as a permanent thing to that car. So one of the features that you can do on this is you could customize what gets recorded on the screen. So for instance, you can record your timestamp, obviously. You can record the GPS location, your speed, your time and date, and of course the model of the camera if you wanted to. And this is all things that could be useful if you ever needed to submit this to the courts or anything like that, to make sure that all the details are there. There's less possibility of them saying that this was, you know, doctored footage or anything like that. So I really think that's a really nice feature, to have that all time-stamped and imprinted on the videos. And you can choose which of those you want to have on there or which ones you want to take off, and I think that's a really good idea. Now, one of the issues I came across in my situation was my 12-volt receptacle in my car does not turn off with the ignition. It stays on all the time. And I was afraid that that was going to actually drain the battery on my car if it's plugged in all the time. However, this has this parking mode feature built in where if the camera doesn't move for 5 minutes or so, it goes into a standby mode, and this way it doesn't drain power. It doesn't continue to record, and it doesn't drain power from the battery of the vehicle. So I've left it plugged in for a week straight without driving the car practically, and it didn't drain the battery at all. The car had no issues starting back up again. One of the really nice features I liked about this also was the screensaver. When you started to drive with the car after so long, if you had no interaction with the screen, it could go into a screensaver mode, which you could just turn off. Or what I did is I actually put the speed on there, so you could put a digital speedometer on that screen, which kind of works like a heads-up display. The way I have it on the windshield, it's about right here, and you know, it acts as a secondary place for me to look for my speed as opposed to looking down at my dashboard. So I thought that was a really good feature to do with that screensaver. This also has a polarization filter built into the lens that you can adjust by turning this ring, and this actually helps get rid of any of the reflection or glare off the windshield back at the camera. So that's a really nice feature, that you can get rid of that glare and you don't have the issue of having that in the quality of your video that you're taking. So this does have this button down here below the screen that you can push, and what that will do is it will record and actually save that footage into a locked partition on the SD card. It doesn't ever get erased until you go in and manually erase it. It also has a G-force meter built into it, so if it sees certain amount of G-force, it will actually record events like that as well. So if you were to hit the brakes too hard or accelerate so hard or turn very hard, it will automatically record that video as well, which is a nice feature to have. Now, it does have a built-in battery, as you can see, which is actually about to die on me. But that built-in battery will last a little bit if you do have it unplugged, or in the event that you want a low battery, or in the event that you want to use it externally and transfer your information real quick from it. Now, in order to transfer the video files from here to, let's say, your phone, you can use the Nextbase app. You open up the Nextbase app, you would connect to the camera. It will then connect to the camera utilizing Wi-Fi for faster video transfers, and then you could transfer those videos to your phone. In my experience, this worked okay. It wasn't great, it wasn't easy. Sometimes it would just have issues connecting to the camera. I could restart my phone and it would be perfectly fine after that. So kind of a weird thing there. It just sometimes has issues connecting. But other than that, it did work fairly well. So no problems there. Couple of the issues that I was having. This dash cam comes with Alexa built in. And I thought when it said Alexa built in, it was going to be more useful than it actually is. To give you an example, what it requires for you to use Alexa is you have to open up the app, you have to go into it, set up Alexa, which was very easy, set up the skill in your Amazon Alexa account, and then once that skill is enabled, then you can give the camera commands, and you can also ask it, what's the weather like, and so on and so forth, just like a regular Alexa device. However, the issue I was having was that every time I would say Alexa, it would open up and it would talk on my phone. I had anticipated that it was going to utilize the microphone and speakers built into the dash cam to accept my voice and then respond back to me. However, it doesn't do that. It actually is in the manual that explicitly states that it doesn't actually come out of the camera. It will come out of your phone, or if your phone is connected to your vehicle via Bluetooth, it will come out of the speakers on the car. I thought that was a bit short-sighted there. I did not like that idea. I figured if you're going to say that this is built-in Alexa, have built-in Alexa to the device, not just some sort of protocol that bounces it off your phone and then comes out of your phone or your speakers. I really didn't like that. I feel like that was kind of selling the whole Alexa thing poorly in a way. I don't think that was right. But other than that, it worked. The skill does work. You can tell it to record and you can tell it to stop and so on and so forth, and it works for that. But how often are you going to tell the camera to record or not record? Or most of the time it's always recording. Even if you have a moment where you just need to save it real quick and secure that file, there's already a button that does so. And that button is located well within reach for you to just reach up and push it. So if you're in the event of you have to record something, you're probably not going to worry about trying to give Alexa a command. You're probably going to be more worried about keeping the car under control, and then when you have the ability, just to hit that button so it records that event. I really didn't think that this was a good integration with Alexa. I really feel like they could have done a much better way of doing it, but it's there nonetheless, and it does have some functionality. For people who want dash cams, I think this is fantastic. I think for the quality of the video that you get, I think that for the ease of installation and the ability to just snap this on and off of your windshield with ease, I think was a really good thing that they did with this. It is one of the more top-of-the-line dash cams that they have out there, and it shows with all the abilities, the features. The 3-inch touchscreen, which makes it easy to go through the menus. You can even just pull up videos and watch videos real quick if you wanted to. You don't have to pull out your phone and do any type of connection. It really does make that an easy task to be able to just check out videos or check out settings and just adjust things real quickly. So I really feel like in that case, they did a really good job of the design. The mounting system, I think, is fantastic. They give you the option of the double-sided tape, or you can do the suction cup. I think that was great how they gave you both in the box. I like how you don't have cables plugging into the dash cam itself. It's plugged into a base, and then that magnetic base that snaps into this dash cam is what ultimately connects to the camera. I think that was a fantastic idea as well. So overall, I think this is a great product. I don't think that the Alexa was necessary or even practical. I think that could have been left out. However, for some people, it will become useful. It will be something that they can use. The way I had anticipated was that if you had a car that did not have Bluetooth, you could now have a Bluetooth speaker or a Bluetooth device that connects to your phone that you can talk to, give it commands, it will talk back to you through this device. I thought that was going to be the idea of that, but clearly that was not what was possible in this case. So overall, there's my impression of the Nextbase dash cam. I will continue to use this as my everyday dash cam for my vehicle. I definitely think that this could be something that could be useful in the event of an accident or just something that needs to be shown, reported to local authorities, just anything like that. I think it could be very useful for that. Well, there you go, everybody. Hope that helps you out if you're in the market for a dash cam. Remember, we'll have more product reviews in the future, so stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Visit us, techmotoring.com, on Twitter at techmotoring, and facebook.com/techmotoring. Thanks again for watching, and remember, welcome to the future, and welcome to Tech Motoring. We'll see you on the next episode.